Hello, I'm your host, Neil Howard. Going to have a conversation with returning guest and president and CEO of the Muscular Dystrophy Association, Lynn O'Connor-Voss. And she's joining us to talk about some of the highlights from the clinical and scientific conference, Progress in Motion, that she attended. Thanks for coming back and letting us in on what happened at this conference, Lynn.
Thank you so much. We just ending the week of just a fantastic event. By all accounts, the number of clinicians, scientists, the FDA, Janet Woodcock, Peter Marks, and a tremendous number of people in the industry, as well as all 22 advocacy groups showed up. The best way to kind of characterize, I think, what's going on in neuromuscular medicine right now is, there's a moonshot moment. You can clearly feel the momentum with gene therapy on the rise. Many companies and scientists reported pivotal data, and there's just where years back, past, there was really no hope in some cases, and there were no therapies. We now see a real road to better outcomes and in some cases cures. So I couldn't be more thrilled. This was a fantastic event.
Now, as far as getting researchers, clinicians, and patients together for future studies, future drug development, future FDA approvals, how is this conference pivotal in maybe this type of conference being held in the future?
Well, I think it's the first time we put everyone in one room, and we're going to continue doing that. In the past, it was a research or a clinical conference. But it was really very effective having both clinical and research in the same meeting, as well as, again, industry. There was in years past, there were not as many opportunities for the industry to participate as much as they are doing now because they're bringing therapies to market. We also had technology there. So, in the future, what was really effective is not only could you go to the gene therapy session and hear about the cutting edge science, but you could also go to the next session, which was how to actually implement gene therapy in your clinic or your care center. And so, we as the MDA, we not only need to bring the cutting edge science, but we actually have to bring the new tools and understanding to the care centers so that they can implement some of these breakthrough treatments. And so, one of the things we did at the conference is we had a clinical care director meeting where, these types of things were discussed. How exactly can we ready the clinical care centers to do clinical trials as well as deliver treatments? And, we will be talking about these issues frequently and figuring out ways to do more fundraising so we can support the care center networks to bring these therapies to patients.
Was there any talk about how the FDA's process and procedures of approval may be streamlined in order to speed up approvals and delivery, thereby benefiting the patients quicker? Once the research is done, once the all of the information is given to the FDA, how much of that can they not redo in order to speed delivery?
Well, two things that came up in the panel and in Janet Woodcock's presentation, which were really exciting. Number one, the FDA is very committed to hearing the patient voice, and they're very open to having patient panels that we organize so that they can understand what outcomes are really important to patients. And that impacts how you design a clinical trial. And so it's very much going to be patient focused. And the other big exciting area that the FDA is looking at, and many of the top clinicians, is the master protocol. So it's a whole new way to look at designing clinical trials where there'll be less pressure on placebo controlled for each one. And, you need to keep kind of an eye out for several articles that are going to be coming out about the master protocol and the new type of statistics that will be used to measure the impact of therapy. So we can actually, similar to the oncology space where there's so many new therapies, how do you allow patients to kind of run through several different therapies within the context of one master protocol and plan? And so between those two things and those two emphases of the FDA and the government, again, this is going to be a collaborative situation. They're highly aware of the fact that these therapies need to get to market faster, but obviously with the same rigor that we would use with any of the therapies that come to market. But, this is a high-need category, and the research and the discoveries are happening faster than before. And so they are clearly committed, as evidenced by Janet Woodcock and Peter Marks coming to the meeting. They're committed to supporting the neuromuscular medical space.
Lynn, it's always a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you for joining us on the program. As being as busy as I know you are, hoping to talk with you again in the future and see what future conferences you attend and bring some more cutting-edge information to the table.
Thank you so much.
You've been listening to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neil Howard. Transcripts and audio of this program are available at hpr.fm and healthprofessionalradio.com.au.
Thank you for listening to Health Professional Radio. We're very proud to be an independent broadcaster providing our content free of charge to you, the listener. One of the ways that we're able to remain free and independent is by having people like you become patrons. You can support Health Professional Radio simply by visiting hpr.fm and clicking the button that says Become a Patron. Your patronage of even just $1 a month lets us know that you're there, which in turn makes us more valuable to advertisers. And, of course, if you're able to afford more, then we would certainly appreciate the support. My name is Toby Longhurst from Health Professional Radio. Please visit hpr.fm, click the Become a Patron button, and support us if you can.